cold December morning. I was driving my mother to the medical center to get some tests done. She'd been experiencing pain for the past several months, and the doctor ordered a colonoscopy. I was tired and figured they'd give me all clear within the next hour so I could go home and finally sleep. But when the nurse called me in with that cold, expressionless face, I just knew. The word cancer finally settled in my mind, and I realized my entire world was about to change. I couldn't go to parties and dance the night away, or watch comedy movies and laugh out loud. I couldn't watch sad movies about a cancer patient and then go to sleep at night without a care in the world because it wasn't happening to me or someone I love. The next several weeks were hell. My heart raced every time the phone rang. I could feel myself slowly slipping into insanity. The cancer was confirmed, but no one wanted to give me clear answers. I spent my days fighting tears, telling my folks that it was all going to be okay. I started questioning myself and thought about what it meant to be a strong woman. Strength. That's something I've never seen in myself. From childhood, I've always been a quiet, uncomfortable kid, brimming with insecurity. Do you see the color of my skin? My own race tells me that I'm ugly, unhappy, not confident. South Asian media has forced me to buy endless boxes of fairness creams, regular face bleaching treatments. They see my body as a bulky mass, finding limitless numbers of equations to minimize the volume and the space I take up in this world. I wanted to please them, give them what they want. These curves and wide hips were a mark of my failure. People casually remarked that I let myself go, and if I didn't change soon, no one would marry me. The first time they told me this, I was 6 years old. There was this newlywed woman from India who had just moved next door, and she would sometimes chat with my mom during their morning walks. My mother didn't like her very much because she was always complaining about something. Anyways, one day, she pulled my mom aside, and in this quiet, serious voice, she said, "Listen, you better start saving up on dowry because no one will want to marry your daughter." My mom, astonished, asked, "And why is that?" She says, "Well, look at her. The girl is darker than coal." My mother didn't tell me this until years later when I was a little older to handle it. You see, for years, I believed that my body was a mistake. It was one of life's unfortunate circumstances. That's the problem with Indian culture. People actually believe that if you don't look like a Bollywood bombshell, you're a failure. In my years living in America, I have found little to none acceptance from my Indian American peers, many of them absorbed with racial and caste divides and degrees of skin fairness. As a South Indian woman, I stand out as a minority within a minority, a complex combination of unfair stereotypes regarding hygiene, big-bellied body shapes, and unbearably conservative personality types. These perceptions have been elevated over time, and it has been my biggest regret in life that I too had accepted these roles. My identity as an Indian American woman was broken. Longing for a sense of acceptance in American society, I went to parties where my safety was compromised, dancing with strangers who thought of only one thing. I poisoned myself with endless shots of alcohol and went to sleep each night, regretting my existence. Maybe I could just be someone different. Maybe I needn't be a stick-thin beauty. I could just fool people into thinking I had the perfect body, the perfect skin color, just through the simple process of intoxication. It took me years to throw away all of this and just stop feeding more misery into my life. You know, for the women who do fit into society's mold of the perfect woman, a majority of Indian men believe that they're asking to get assaulted. A few weeks ago, a young 23-year-old woman in Delhi boarded a bus with her boyfriend after watching a movie. 6 men attacked her boyfriend and then proceeded to gang rape her. If that wasn't enough, they violated her with an iron rod until her intestines came spilling out of her body. And society's response to this? She was beautiful, so she was asking to get raped. 37% of women in India report experiencing some form of abuse from their husbands. Activists believe the figures are actually double when considering all the unreported cases. In New Delhi alone, local police believe that a woman is raped every 18 hours and molested every 14 hours, but I know that it is more than that. Girls who are not aborted because of a societal preference for sons face catcalls, sexual harassment, discrimination in the workplace, lack of marriage prospects due to insufficient dowry, rape or murder after marriage because their husbands lost interest. There is so much cultural baggage in Indian society, a mentality that women do not deserve to think or even live. I begin to wonder how Indian women can take this abuse with a pinch of salt. They remain unaffected. You can pull any Indian woman and ask her if she feels safe walking on the streets, and she will say no. But the thing is, despite all the pain and adversity, Indian women are strong. Strength is being able to fight for your life after getting gang raped and starting a revolution that questions the very core concept of privilege in Indian society. Strength is being able to take part in a women's rights movement despite getting tear gassed and assaulted by the corrupt government and police forces. Strength is being able to walk on the streets with your head held high, even if you aren't fair-skinned and perfectly svelte. Strength is being able to tell your daughter that you have cancer, but you're going to fight through it, and setting an example of courage through all difficulties. My mother's cancer has shown me what it truly means to put up a good fight. Despite all the bad news, my mother continues to smile and live. And that's all I really want to do. I want to live. I want to spend every day fighting. I want to be unapologetic. My body is not a source of discomfort, not the toxic wasteland I used to see it as. It's a vehicle for real change. It inspires me to do what I love to do. You can't really ask for anything more perfect than that.